Hi, this is Chibi Fangirl. I fangirl over and you just listen. Do you remember our little discussion last time I posted a vlog like this? Well, I felt like I wanted to do another one based off a movie that is really, really popular for some reason. I don't understand why it's so popular. I couldn't put my finger on it. I mean, it's critically acclaimed. It has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is apparently a good thing. And it's supposed to be the most inspiring film of our decade. And I look at it, and it's the crappiest movie I've ever seen. As a storytelling perspective, this is really shocking, and worst part of it, it's a true story. Um, the movie I'm talking about is called The Social Network, which is a movie that came out in 2010. And I watched it not of my own will because it was for a school project. We have a life skills slash business class, and my teacher was trying to make a point of how to start a business and get a company together. And as thoroughly as I watched the film, I could not pick out anything business of it other than the main thing I was mainly focusing on is how bad the storytelling was. I mean, I'm not sure the target audience is for this film, but it's obviously not people who are aspiring their goals, because people who are actually trying aren't getting the same response. Because, for example, the character of Mark Zuckerberg in this movie is portrayed as this frat house geeky type of guy who's horny all the time, and I guess there are some guys like that, but can they really become successful at making a multi-million-dollar social network? I mean, it doesn't, I don't think it works like that, honestly. I mean, unless he wasn't so geeky, I guess that would have worked out, but I cannot put my finger on why this movie is so popular. All the characters are annoying, stupid, obnoxious. I think the only likable character is Mark's ex-girlfriend, because she at least has a strong role for the only 10 minutes of the movie she's actually in. And there's no love story. They're like, oh, they got back together. That's good at least. But I liked her because she didn't want to be toyed with, and no matter how much success that Mark was getting, she was not going to come back to him, and I appreciate that for sticking to that. But most of the characters are horny all the time. It's disgusting and hard to sit through, and I was trying to find the business aspect to it, but all the business talk was over my head or non-existent, because it mainly focused on the drugs, the sex, the alcohol, the success. How does that work exactly? Because the thing about drugs and alcohol, they can really ruin a person's career. There's relapses, and my upcoming review that's coming up, it kind of explains my problem with certain forms of media, how it tries too hard to be edgy. This film is kind of like that, too hard to be, and he's trying way too hard to be edgy, saying, oh, we can try to impress the cool kids, and show all the miracles of the media, and all that stuff. I mean, it's really non-existent. I mean, people who do drugs are a mess. They are not that successful. I mean, some people end up killing themselves, others end up in the hospital, rehab, and there are so many different consequences I could name, but my point is, this movie was trying way too hard to be edgy, and way too hard trying to prove its point, and failed at it. And there's really nothing good about this film except for that one character, and maybe Eduardo, I think that's what his name was. But really, all the characters are just so obnoxious, and I thought about making a scripted review of this, but I really couldn't think of how I would do it, because really all it is senseless talking and drugs and sex. That's really all it is. And it's really boring too. It's just, this movie made me hate Facebook more than I do now. I mean, I hate Facebook for my own personal reasons, which I'm not going to go into, but this made me hate Facebook even more. I mean, yes, I have a Facebook account. I'm not proud of it, but I have one. Yeah, it's just like, it's really disgusting, and I couldn't make any jokes of what I could do with this film because it's a really weird storytelling perspective too, because like it will start in real time and then go to flashback to another flashback, back to real time to another flashback, and it's really confusing to sit through sometimes because we don't know what timeline we're in. And I was going to do like somehow Linkara did One More Day, just like a really angry rant, and I couldn't do one either. I just wanted to express my own thoughts with being totally unabridged, unscripted, because I think if I did script it, I think it would sound really, really fake. Cause when I act, my acting is terrible, let's be honest. Like, I cannot fake anger, like, it has to really come to me. And I was actually really lucky that my new episode coming out has some real raw anger. I mean, in my Twilight episode, I could not get angry for some reason. I'm like, I'm supposed to get angry, but I somehow can't. In my Pitch Perfect episode, I couldn't get angry either. And, like, here it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do a vlog about this. And if you do like the movie, can you please explain why it's so good? Because I don't see any good in this film. You can either comment it, Skype it, or Facebook me. Seriously, this movie just made me... Okay, it is worse than, like, my least favorite movie before I saw this film, and that was That's My Boy. And at least That's My Boy was trying to be funny. It didn't have a point to make. It was supposed to be stupid to begin with. Here, it's like, I wasn't trying to be stupid, but I came out that way. So, really, The Social Network gets a 0 star from me. It's my least favorite film of this day now. So, yeah, when I was watching this film for our school project, everyone was, like, really enjoying it because I'm the only girl in that class. And, like, they're like, oh, wow, we can really relate to this character. And I'm looking at them, and it's like, wow, you have no soul. But, no, not really. But, no, my critic mode was going off. Like, I was gonna go full-on crazy as I was watching this film in class. But, luckily I didn't. I kept myself together, and I stuck to it. Though, like, I was imploding from watching how terrible it is. I already mentioned how the characters are stupid, the bad timeline, and, like, the ending was very, very lazy. Kind of like, alright, so we have that climax of how, Eduardo has only a certain amount of share of Facebook now, and, like, he leaves and sues Mark, and then Mark looks at him, and it's like, Mark had all this success. And it just ends there. And I was like, you don't want to fix the problem? Or what are you going to do, movie? You're just going to sum everything up? I mean, it's called showing and not telling. And I think even if they did show, it wouldn't make the movie any better either. I mean, not only is this movie bad, but it has a lazy ending as well. Anything else I can point out about it? I don't like the idea that Justin Timberlake played Napster Guy. Only because it's obviously Justin Timberlake. Here's the thing about how I feel about certain celebrities in, movies. Especially when it comes to a real life story portrayed in a movie. I don't like the idea of celebrities portraying other people or other celebrities because I feel that it doesn't work. They just cannot be that specific person. And, like, not only that, Justin Timberlake's really popular right now, so it kind of feels a little strange saying, oh, he's not Justin Timberlake, he's that person. But, like, I understand, like, if they did a really good job acting, but, like, the character, I don't know, it was just, like, so bland that I felt that he didn't portray the role correctly. and the role was flawed to begin with. So, again, if you like this movie, explain why, because I can't see anything good about this film. If you have any other debate topics you would like me to talk about, please list them as well.
4 o'clock.
Oh, yes, I got a new speaker, because, oh, yes, I forgot to mention about my new laptop. I got this one 2 weeks ago. It's a MacBook Pro. It's similar to my old one, but with the new operating system, I haven't updated the old one oh so long, and it was starting to fail with everything anyway. But, yeah, I got a new MacBook Pro, and, I won't be able to do Final Cut for a while just because I do not own it anymore because I purposely deleted it after the whole Labyrinth episode. So, I'm working with iMovie again. The problem is all my videos are coming out of sync. I'm doing this on my QuickTime, and I'm not editing this video, so that's why it's in sync, but I'm not sure when I export it on iMovie will it come out of sync, but I don't know, and I can't really fix it either. I tried calling tech support, and they couldn't help me either. And, yeah, so I'm really afraid that could happen, but hopefully it won't. I'm thinking about maybe getting Final Cut again for my birthday or Hanukkah, but really I don't know. I mean, I thought about getting a torrent, but the thing about, like, certain programs and torrents, you need an activation code. And when I got this laptop, it did not come with Office. Even though, like, all my old computer is on this computer right now, it does not have Office. I do not have the activation code any longer, so all my Word documents are now on TextEdit, the cheap version of Microsoft Word, and I hate doing so because of how the lack of options I have to edit the document. So, yeah, you can tell how frustrated I am, but, like, not as bad as I was with the other one where everything kept crashing. I'm like, I just wrote a sentence on Microsoft Word and it somehow crashed. But yeah, I do like the new iMovie. It's similar to Final Cut, and the only issue I have with it, yes, I'm still getting out of sync videos, and not only that, but I can't record through iMovie anymore either, so that doesn't help me. And I know when I did the Hunger Games episode, I recorded through my old computer and then sent it to my new one through an iMovie event, because I hadn't updated the other computer, so it still had iSight, which is the camera in iMovie. And, but I'm leaving that computer at school right now because it's so heavy. It's like 20 pounds on my back. It's really heavy, so I don't feel like carrying it. So I just leave it at school for school purposes, and then I deal with editing on this one at home. This one also is going to be my travel computer, and then I'll eventually sell my old one for I don't know how much. It's not worth that much, because I know my friend's willing to buy it because he wants something to, like, surf the web and listen to music. I'm like, well, that's the only thing it does besides, like, play movies, but really that's all you can do because you can't really make any Word documents. You can't do anything on GarageBand without having the program screw up. You can play games depending on which ones. Photoshop doesn't work. Illustrator works sometimes. Keyword sometimes. The calendar crashes every so often, so that's a pain in the ass to deal with as well. But luckily he's just using it for web browsing. I'm probably gonna sell it for not that much. I mean, your regular MacBook is 1,200 maybe. I don't know how much this one was, but I know it was a little over 1,000. But so I'm thinking my old one, since it's like 6-7 years old, I'm probably gonna sell it for 500 because it's really not that much to deal with anymore. So, yeah, that's it for this vlog. Again, any new debate discussions you want me to talk about, I'm happy to share my opinions, because that's what I do. I'm Chibi Fangirl, signing off.